Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the domain of the Chaos God. Today we're going to be going over my new Restoration class Corvette. The entire idea behind it is that it should be able to fend for itself against smaller attacks, for example gunships and fighters, as well as it should be able to enter a planet's atmosphere and support a fighter group or strike class group on whatever mission it's going on, rather that be via refueling or ability to carry supplies for repairs. The Restoration class can do all of that on one gravity with the largest sized planet, as well as easily with the smaller planet, considering that the atmosphere does scale and the gravity field also scales. You know, it does. I tested both. First I tested the small one, just to make sure it was gravity compliant, and then I tested the big one just to make sure it could do both properly. In any case, moving on from that, it can comfortably carry at any given time 2 strike of my Viper class strike craft on it. I do of course have other connectors for different configurations. Let's say I build smaller ships than the strike craft, then maybe I could carry 3 at a time, or if I tilt them 90 degrees, let's say it's landed somewhere, if I tilt it 90 degrees, the strike craft 90 degrees that is, I could fit more to be able to resupply more at any given time. In any case, this is one of the fastest accelerating craft that the fleet has at the time, with 8 forward engines, as well as I believe it has 4 reverse. Yep, that is correct. It's got a couple vertical engines because I stupidly made the entire thing out of heavy armor. Good thing why it's made out of heavy armor, it's super durable. Bad thing why it's made out of heavy armor, it can't maneuver as well as it should, but considering it's also carrying a ridiculous amount of hydrogen on board, I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing. Now, in order to enter the Corvette, you just come in through the main side doors there, one on each side, and you can see we already open up into some seating for just a small strike group. That way you can also use this for smaller attack missions, as well as cryo beds for longer missions, or for just in case your friends leave but you don't have time to regroup with the main sector just yet. And if you open this and can somehow stick to the floor, you can then go back into the engineering compartment, which has a couple of the hydrogen tanks. It's got 4 large reactors, and then the survival kit, so you can respawn on this. It's also good for refining, or for refining basic resources, as well as making basic tools, and then other stuff like that, like for example making iron plates. Then you also have dual oxygen generators, oxygen hydrogen generators, obviously. That's both to help feed the tanks, as well as on some of the other ships. For example, the Viper, it has a cockpit that you can actually just run oxygen into. So I do have that going for it, just to make sure that I can, you know, really fend for itself and supply what it needs to supply. It's got a rather large cockpit with a lot of glass. You might be thinking, hey, isn't that a vulnerability? The long answer is yes, shut up. Or no, sorry, the short answer is yes, shut up. The long answer is this is a very pretty walkway. I like this walkway very much. And then just entering into here to see the nice and large windows, it makes me feel some type of way. I especially love the diagonal window here that I got stuck in between the seats. I love that diagonal window here. It adds in just another sense of I don't know, it looks very pretty. I feel like there's not a lot of diagonal windows that are done in this manner. Especially not for small grids. I personally just love it. Again, it is fully atmospheric up to 1G. That's all it's rated for in any case. And it is able to operate completely solo without the help of a fleet. However, I would recommend keeping it near a carrier or maybe a battleship. That has also been featured here on the channel. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Ultimately, it is not my best ship that I've ever designed, but it does exactly what it's supposed to do. And nothing more. It's a no-frills ship. that you can just rely on as a workhorse. It's also fully able to be remote controlled or sent on automated runs back and forth to patrol your space, which I think is very useful. Last feature on it is the amount of guns we have. I said it needs to be able to defend against threats, and I meant it. So we have, if I remember correctly, 10 turrets. 10 of the new autocannon turrets that came with the Warfare update. And I've tried them against the strike craft threat. I've tried them against itself. They tear small ships up. They absolutely just chew into them. And especially because I have just a few, against smaller fighters, it's no issue. Because let's say you were rocking the assault cannons, you might miss a couple shots, and with those they have such a long reload time that's really a big deal. With these, because they take so little time to reload, you can really just spit a lot of ammunition out to make it great for screening against fighters. In any case, that is the restoration. I'll have links where you can get it down below. And thank you guys so much for watching the video. Remember to cause chaos, but not too much, because that's my job. Okay, bye.